Gemini. You've been a little quiet. Retrograde got you. That Mercury retrograde kicking in, huh? I forgot my favorite. Mercury and lemonade. Mercury's Gatorade. I forgot my favorite iteration of it. But you feeling that shit, huh? I love you. Just breathe. Gemini rules the lungs, and I want you to empty yours, please. When you're ready, take a deep inhale through your nose. Hold it at the top for a second, and exhale through your mouth. Empty your lungs all the way. Gemini, it's your girl JV, High Priestess, back at it again with the general tarot reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Virgo season 2023, baby. Gemini, 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 Gemini. I was like, where is it at? Y'all know I usually dance in y'all's video. So, I think the retrograde just has you like, no sudden movements. Observation mode on overload. And there could be a bit of analysis paralysis that shows up or flares this season. So be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising because Patreon gets everything first. Patreon.com/JustJEverything. Over there we clarify every single card. And for free shit, check out my Instasham at JustJ_everything, TikTok at JustJEverything, and for other dope shit that I do, my website. So, kick it, relax, hydrate, light it if you got it. Let's go ahead and get into it, yes. I create a safe space for my benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth. Thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Virgo season 2023. You know what? I'm going to cut off in the bush for a second. Hold, please. You got to stay a step ahead of the ops, man. Stay a step ahead of the ops. Be sure to like this video. All the links are in the description box below. Liking really helps your favorite creators. So show up for us the way we show up for you. Now, let's get into it. The Hangman has already shown up like 4 times. Are you feeling stuck? If so, there is a surrender that's a coming. Your ruling planet, Mercury, is retrograde. Check out the Virgo season astrology video. That has all the important astrological dates. So Mercury retrograde in Virgo. The Sun is in Virgo. Mars is in Virgo. For a little bit of time in the beginning, like half a week in the beginning of Virgo season. So I feel like you're really feeling maybe a big surge of like conflictual energy possibly, or not sure where to put the energy, where to put the focus. And I feel like lists, analytics, look at the data. Allow yourself to become more of an expert in whatever it is that you're, or become more masterful in whatever it is that you're passionate or curious about, whatever it is that you enjoy doing, whatever it is that you want to launch. I feel like there is something here about studying, allowing yourself to study, do the work, get it done. All right, so most useful, helpful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. For the most useful, helpful, divinely aligned messages for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I just asked you, fill us all up with divine love, divine light, divine darkness, divine justice, divine wisdom, divine energy to get done what we need to get done. Damn, 9 of Swords, 7 of Wands reversed, and the Star at the center of the reading. Okay, Gemini. When I said it was kind of quiet, I didn't think it was because y'all were there, but it's just a reboot. This Mercury retrograde is short and it's like short and sweet, quick and dirty. From August 23rd to September 15th. And then there's a little bit of a post-retrograde shadow, but I feel like with the 9 of Swords being the first card out, this tells us the first thing to be clarified on the Selenite throne, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, is your relationship to your mind, your relationship to the truth, your relationship to reality, your relationship to your shadow, your relationship to your darkness. The way that your darkness, your fear, your insecurity, your shadow are keeping you in defense mode. They're keeping you like braced and ready for impact, and it's just keeping you from experiencing the kind or the level or the caliber of intimacy that you're subconsciously actually craving. So outside, if this is not you that's stressed the fuck out or freaking out or anxious, or there could be restlessness, this could be like nightmares or anxiety or depression, processing grief, there could be stuff from the past coming up. It may involve somebody with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements. Aquarius is highlighted here with the star out. I feel like some of you are stressed out about an air sign, stressed out about this Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. The Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, I feel like may be on the defense or may be like locked down or protected or guarded. They may be really defensive, or maybe you're upset that someone didn't stand up for you. Maybe there's an upset in regards to like you not standing up for yourself, you not defending yourself. There, especially if it's in regards to someone with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements, there could be something here about like, did you do the right thing? Did you stand up for what was like moral or ethical? Are you allowing yourself to dream bigger? It's funny, as I'm holding up the star card, I just saw a notification that I got a new subscriber. I'm so close to 1,000 subscribers and being able to make a membership on YouTube and making my life a lot easier. So close. I feel like you are also so close to your dreams and you don't realize it. You're so close to accomplishing what you want to accomplish. It's just going to require you being stripped of some ego, stripped of some old, outdated programming. There's like these crusty, cruddy, like, it's like barnacles on your brain is how this feels. There's something about like getting the, like, understanding, like we talk about like getting out of lack mentality, scarcity mentality, the process of shaking off trauma, the process of healing from trauma, the process of integrating the wisdom and integrating the information that you've learned and integrating that into your actions. That's not an overnight process. Gemini, just because you know it doesn't mean that you do it. You like collect all this information because you need stimuli, and then like are upset because things aren't changing. And I'm letting you know, Virgo season is going to show you, this Mercury retrograde is going to show you, things will change when you surrender. Things will change when you stop applying, like, thinking that everything is going to go your way because you applied brute force and logic. I just saw 8 on the clock, 8 minutes on the clock. So there is something here about a reset of a cycle, hoping, and then 8:08. I need to reset hope. It's time to hop on a new, more hopeful timeline in your mind. Final 2 cards, final 2 messages, please. Page of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I just feel like there's this uprooting of immaturity, childishness, old angers, old behaviors. Some of y'all have been immature as fuck and you know it. Some of y'all petty as fuck and you know it. And it's just like not a good look anymore. It's not working anymore. Or like being catty or vengeful or dramatic. It's just like there is a time and place for that shit, and I feel like everybody's learning that. With a star at the center of the reading, you are being healed. Period. The retrogrades, all these retrogrades, we're gonna have like we're like totaling 7, I think, retrogrades this season, and it's just like you're gonna get the medicine. RX retrograde is the same as RX prescription, like in the duality between them, the correlation needs to be observed. Stop, like this whole stigma everybody has about Mercury retrograde, it needs to stop because it's blocking everybody from seeing the way to extract their data from the darkness. If you go into Mercury retrograde thinking everything's about to fuck up, everything's about to fall apart, watch it. Stop that. Stop assuming and assigning emotion and assigning like all this assumption and jumping to conclusions to things before it's like you don't even have all the pictures. You don't have all the pieces yet. You don't have all the pieces to the puzzle yet. And so I do feel like you guys are going to be humbled in some sort of way. Let go or be dragged, baby. But either way, you're moving towards nakedness. You're moving towards dreaming bigger, being more hopeful. There may be somebody with Aquarius placements coming in. There may be something that you've been really, really wanting coming in. I feel like you're really feeling guided by fate. And if you don't let go, you're going to feel dragged by fate versus allowing yourself to be like blissful in the flow, you know, and enjoying the surrender, allowing yourself to like lean into and like wade in the water of surrender. I feel like this Aquarius wants to come in and pour into you, or there's something that you've been wishing for and it will be contributing. It will be generous. There's something about how can you be more generous. You're being guided to where you want to be. Hello. And while you're being cosmically edited, you're being poured into. I'm excited to clarify this 9 of Swords because I feel like Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you may be in Virgo season heavy in your dark worker energy. Light worker energy is when you're like doing your work to impact and improve and evolve the collective. And dark worker phases are like when you don't give a shit about anybody else. And you are focused to like be in your feelings and to focus on yourself and to prioritize yourself and to familiarize yourself with your shadow and your folly. And, you know, there's so much beauty, there's so much awareness in the darkness, and maybe that's the Cancer moon in me. I'm almost a Taurus, and so I'm sure I romanticize or glamorize, you know, my hardships in some sort of way. But I just feel like maybe because I'm, you know, closer to 40 than I am 30, I just have the experiential, I have like the referential past. I have this like experiential wisdom that I'm just like, damn, I can look back and see how all this like fucked up shit led to epic shit. And I just feel like if you're, you know, still in your 20s and you're still figuring it out, I'm letting you know everything is unfolding exactly as it's supposed to. In Virgo season, it's really important for you to get a hold of your motherfucking mind, baby. It's time to start being more masterful with your mind, to start being more masterful with your mind so you can be more masterful with your thoughts. And when you're more masterful with your thoughts, you'll be more masterful with your words. And because words are spells and life and death are in the power of the tongue, you know, there is something about what are you speaking into your life? What are you speaking into your experience? I feel like your thoughts and your words are really powerful all the time, but specifically right now in Virgo season. Our thoughts are electromagnetic. Our words can make things happen. Our words are our spoken word is a vibration, and vibration can turn into matter in this realm, in this dimension. And it's talked about how in the 4th, thought becomes matter. And so right now, while you're hanging out here, you got to get your fucking words right. And how you're talking about it, and how you're, like, there is some sort of ending. I just feel like some of you have been holding on to your, I don't want to say this way, but I just feel like some of you are so comfortable with your trauma, so comfortable with your trauma responses. Like you're so comfortable with everybody like nursing or like tending to you, and or like walking on eggshells around you possibly when you're here, that I just don't feel like it's doing you a service anymore. There is something about allowing yourself to be challenged, allowing people to tell you what's really going on. The ending of the cycle in the realm of the mind needs to happen, and there is just these roadblocks that I feel like you have been like creating for yourself, or these roadblocks that have been created and you have attached to that roadblock as like your life's obstacle. And because you subconsciously believe that, the world and life and everything around in your subconscious mind are doing their damnedest to affirm that. Because whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. And your subconscious mind is going to affirm that every time. So if you keep telling yourself that, you know, I'm stuck in this cycle and everything, this always happens and blah, 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 whatever variation of limitation that you're verbalizing, stop. Stop it. And when you start thinking it, I want you to speak out the antithesis of whatever it is that you're, like, whatever negative thought that you're thinking. Final two cards, final two messages, please, before I get all feisty. I thought that was them, but it's not. Just breathe, just be still. 9 of Wands, and then the Knight of Cups reversed and the Page of Cups with the Tower on the bottom of the deck, but because I only take 5, the Page of Cups will be on the bottom of the deck. So final card is the Knight of Cups reversed. I just want to point out 1 Major Arcana, 1 Court card, and everybody is solitary. Every card only has 1 person, 1 figure in it, 1 focal point. And I feel like you are being asked, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, to get to a whole number. Get yourself to number 1. You may be operating in the fractal somehow, operating in fractions or fractalizing or compartmentalizing so much of yourself that there is something here about getting to wholeness. Creating a schedule for yourself. Gemini is a sign of I think, and Virgo is the next octave up from I think. It's I analyze. And I just feel like there's a maturation that you're experiencing. There's a maturity that's coming in. I feel like also with the final 2 cards being the 9 of Wands and the Knight of Cups reversed, there's something here about healing from a period of war, healing from a profound change. I feel like there may be an apology coming in from somebody with Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, or Aries placements. I feel like your block is getting knocked off, your mind is getting blown. The 9 of Swords plus the Tower here lets me know like your access to the divine, like your crown chakra is getting knocked off. Uranus retrograde in Taurus, and you have Taurus right behind you. That's happening in your subconscious mind. So I do feel like your concept of stability, there are no pentacles and there are no swords out here. Well, yes, there's no pentacles out here. So, and we're going into an earth season, and that is a point of interest to me, because we're going into Virgo season, and the only like earth that I'm really even seeing are in the 7 of Wands reversed and the Star. And so I feel like with the 7 of Wands reversed, there's something here like you've already maintained the high ground. Why do you like Like, don't knock yourself down from the high ground. Don't stoop to anybody's level. Don't knock your crown off. Wait for the divine. The divine is the one who needs to be adjusting or moving your crown, not you, by way of lowering yourself to like addressing or acknowledging drama or stupid shit. There could be someone from the past coming back to apologize. I feel like there also may be a back and forth, start, stop, chaotic situation with maybe somebody with Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or Aries placements. And it just feels like something may come to a head. I'm going to dive into the plot. Yeah, I feel like Queen of Swords reversed. You've been biting your tongue, but I just feel like no mas. That's not happening anymore in Virgo season. And I just feel like the ways that you've been trying to be polite, the ways that you've been trying to be very Libran and fucking maintain homeostasis, I don't feel like is working for you. With the Nine of Wands, I do feel like there's something here about healing your relationship to your mental health. This is the Nine of Swords and then the Nine of Wands. So two cards of endings, an ending in the mind and an ending in the spirit. Possibly an ending with this Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. An ending or a metamorphosis possibly. But I don't feel like if somebody has already dropped the ball, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. In Virgo season, when people show you who they are, believe them. This is like not a time to explain away people's shitty behavior or justify shitty behavior. I feel like you are at a point where you can finally hop off the war, like hop out of the war. You can come home from war. And you may be really guarded. You may be really defensive, but I feel like there's events and experiences that are pivotal this season that are coming in to heal that and get you out of defense mode, get you out of fight mode, get you back into a place of trusting again. But a lot of that, getting you back to that place, it's going to require you taking the blindfold off and doing your part to like get a better vetting system. When it comes to like who you're going to surround yourself with, when it comes to who you're exposing yourself to, there is something that's needed about like a better vetting system or taking your time or slowing down so that you can really like tune in to people when you're around them and tune into how you feel and taking the time to acquire data so you can, hello Virgo, analyze it. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Cups. So I do feel like some of you may be triggered because there may be new feelings that you discovered or new love blossoming or flirty messages or a new relationship that's budding possibly. I do feel like Virgo season is a great time for you to prioritize self-care, self-love, for you to prioritize creativity, for you to prioritize your emotions, because you trying to be sterile and cold, you are not a fucking Aquarius. It's not a good look on you. And I feel like there's someone who is just around that's really able to see through and is going to call you out in the ways that you've been defensive or in hermit mode or closing yourself off possibly. And I just feel like because of some drama that happened in Leo season, I feel like you're able to identify who is a knight, who is a king, who is a queen, who is an emperor, who is an empress. You're like you've been slowed down enough so that you can see that more time in observation of people can hurt. I also feel like there may be some sort of, with the Knight of Cups reversed, there could be an ending of a relationship, an ending of something that never, didn't, super duper get off the ground the way that you wanted to. This could be a project going from the Knight reverse to the Page. On the bottom of the deck, this just feels like a diminishment of love, or someone with Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements that's not around as much, or maybe you're not feeling as amorous for someone as you previously did in Leo season or Cancer season. This could be a project or something in regards to artistry or your creativity or your spirituality. It just feels like something is start, stop, push, pull, and you're done of the tug of war. You're done. And as you should be. I feel like even I just cross my arms, I'm just like, I don't know. It just feels like you wouldn't feel the need to be so defensive if you would listen to your intuition versus looking for the dots to connect and looking for things to make sense. It's so funny that that just came up because my favorite reader, Amber Khan, is a Gemini. And one of my favorite quotes from her, she said, I often wonder what my life would look like if I needed things to make sense before I did them. And that's like mastery level Gemini shit, is when you can really consistently access your logic and your intuition and apply that and integrate that into your life. I love that quote because there's just so much faith. There's so much faith wrapped up into it. And I feel like you're being forced to dive deeper into your faith. Let's say you're already a really faithful person. There's another level, baby. And I feel like you're learning how to turn your faith into a verb. And some of you, turning your faith into a verb will require you saying bye to something, will require you taking a leap of faith, will require you walking away from something that maybe you want but you know isn't for you, or that something that you want but you know isn't of the like quality or caliber that you want. And I just feel like Gary Vee said, quotes coming up, Gary Vee said, quality is subjective, but quantity is not. And so there is something here about the observation of quality versus quantity. The observation of endings, of letting things go, and the way that you let things go. Are you closer to the, either way, if you're closer to the Taurus side or you're closer to the Cancer side of, where you fall in the Gemini spectrum, I feel like letting go, especially depending on where your moon sign is, like letting go can be hard for you guys. Like just drop it. Like some of y'all can just drop, and you just drop it. You visually, like with that person, you just go into ghost mode. And I do think it's easy for some of you, but some of you, but also I feel like some of you, most of you, when it hits hard, or when it's something that you really, really wanted, it can be hard to let go, and it can be hard to like, don't get trapped. 27, my lucky number. Don't get caught in the trap of why. I just feel like there's something here about making sure that you get yourself in a place of perpetual faith and getting yourself receptive so that you can allow the divine to cosmically edit you and pour into you. But how are you going to, if the divine is asking you to be in receptivity mode, how are you going to see what's coming to you if you just keep staying in the darkness and you don't start to actually learn how to wield these swords of truth, how to wield the information, the insight, the data that's coming to you, the ideas, the divine instructions, the downloads? If you don't look at it, how are you going to build up those muscles? How are you going to figure out how to do this shit? If you don't put down the staff, if you don't get out of this defensive mode, how are you going to see what's behind you? How are you going to see who has you back, babe? Who has your back? Don't you realize that these people are opposing you from below? So like I was saying before, the only grounding that I'm seeing is like, hey, you're on higher grounding, and maybe you forgot that. You got the higher ground. I feel like you have the power in most of these situations. Like, yeah, it's like you have your power. There's something like you're forgetting your power. Are you holding on to this old flame or an old defense mechanism, an old vice? What did something steal your spark or steal your fire? Or did you put those things down? And if so, I just feel like there is this restoration that's coming in. And I feel like it'll feel good, because these retrogrades are going to expose to you what needs to be closed out, are going to expose to you what you need to evaluate. Because there's like, with the way the sky is set up right now, like you're needing to reevaluate how you reevaluate. You're needing to like reevaluate how you analyze. And you can't do that. You can't tune into your own constructive criticism if you keep yourself so willfully blind to your role. There's stuff going on that I feel like has happened before, and you've played a role in it. And it's time to allow yourself to take responsibility. That really came out for Taurus too. There's something here about like taking responsibility. You can't always be the victim. I feel like some of you, like, you got to realize, like, your self-image dictates your entire life. If you identify as being somebody who is a victim or who has been victimized, if you are always on guard, that's just perpetuating fear. That's displaying fear, and that's you preparing for fear. And we have the experiences that we expect. We have the experiences we prepare for. So are you going to prepare for this? Are you expecting this? Or are you going to allow yourself to come out of your, own personal hell, your own darkness, which is just your mind? Are you going to allow yourself to sit with your mind, sit with your thoughts, observe yourself, so that the divine can pour new healing water over your brain and your thoughts and your mindset and get you back to that point of optimism? But you got too many weapons here. And that is a demonstration of fear, not faith. Let's get into it. I'll see you over on Patreon, patreon.com/JustJEverything. For the full version of the video, go to Patreon.